go to bed because we're going to be talking for an hour. Well, go to bed. Go.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Active Revealed again, episode number 10. Tonight it is a normal cast of myself, Gandhi, DeFace, Arctic, and we have Loco joining us tonight to talk about the European scene and Gal.se, and they actually have some American tournaments going on. So, Loco, you can kick it off with that.
Yeah, so basically, Gal.se, there's been 2 tournaments, Christmas Execution and the Afterski. And the Afterski is the one where, a lot of American support, people watching the stream, Gandhi, Vero helping out, Fail Strike. So we realized that it's not that there's a gap in the American scene, quite a lot of tournaments going on and whatnot, but we want to try and combine some kind of mini community within a community of a tournament, a website which has both European and American tournaments going on at the same time. So we get cross commentators, people commentating from Europe and American tournaments and vice versa. Obviously, the Americans are generally far more knowledgeable, but it's just kind of this Gal family unification kind of thing. So as we announced on Twitter, on the Gal.se, we're going to be doing a tournament. It's going to be called King of a Spring tournament. We like these quirky names, and it's going to be in March for Europe, and it's going to be in April for America. We're looking. The dates aren't confirmed definitely yet, but for Europe, we're looking to do starting on I think it's the weekend of the 10th of March, or the 15th of March. I don't even know, actually. But the American one is going to be the 15th of April. And it's going to last for a week, and registration will open 2 weeks before for the American one and 1 week before for Europe. Prize tournament, it's going to have Mad Cats there. It's going to have Twitch, our brand new partnership, and Microsoft. So there's going to be cash prizes and product prizes for both America and Europe.
Sounds pretty awesome.
So what do you? I mean, but really, I don't know what you guys want to expect. I mean, it's kind of like, as we said, we made him a news post. It's kind of an open thing. Where we want to work with the American community and see how you guys want to interact and how what kind of additions to a tournament do you want to see? Do you want to see it run? Did you guys enjoy the last tournament for one?
Oh yeah, definitely. I liked it. I mean, I got to commentate a little bit. It was fun.
Yeah, I love the Gal.se tournament. Is it going to be double elimination, best of 5, everything standard?
Yeah, of course. It'll last for a week, so it's pretty hectic schedule. You have to get your loser bracket games done. Like you'll play 2 a day probably if you get knocked in early, and then the winner bracket guys will play 1 a day, leading up to the finals on a Sunday. So it's basic stuff, but really, we're going to be churning out these tournaments. Not just quickly, every other month, but also it's going to be prizes every single time. The guy, the founder behind Gal.se, he's seriously committed. He works for he works for his own company, he's a salesman or something, but he's one of those guys who just came in and thought, I love Gears of War, I love gaming. That's why he's getting involved. Oh, by the way, I'm stuttering, guys, because I'm absolutely fucked. So excuse my language.
I don't know, because my webcam just isn't focusing for shit. Looks terrible.
I don't know what it is, dude. Like, some people are clear, some people aren't. Skype's weird like that.
That's straight beta for you.
Yeah.
Well, guys, your thoughts on the Gal.se? I commentated. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it, too. I got to commentate some of it. I got to see, some new talent over in Europe. I got to see that French team enjoy playing against, your old team Apex.
Apex, yeah. That was the match I caught.
So EGL, what are you guys' thoughts? Because MLG haven't picked up Gal yet. You guys excited by EGL? Do you guys, would you guys like to come to EGL?
Of course.
Yeah, dude,
yeah,
of course.
We would like to come.
Yeah, I mean, that comes down to how big of a purse, that actually gets there. I mean, I'm sure to really attract those, an ample amount of U.S. teams to shoot over that way. That's got to be some coin for sure. Yeah.
Well, I think the key, even if it was depending on the ridiculous amount of money you guys put up, or the lower amount of money that you guys put up, you have to announce the prizes way before in advance. Yeah, you have to, because a flight alone for each person would be ridiculous, as because you've traveled to the States. So
yeah,
I just think it a month and a half in advance would be nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, obviously the organization scene is different in America. As we discussed in the last time I was on, it's far bigger in Europe. But in teams like Infinity, what kind of support do they receive from Caliber 11?
Ooh.
Does anyone know?
I mean, I'm assuming they just pay for their ride to get there. That's just an assumption, though. Only they would know. And I would think Terror or one of them would be in here watching now, unless they're scrimming. I have no idea.
They scrim?
I'm just saying. I don't know. You know.
They play owned because we were just scrimming owned, so they play owned for whatever that game battles tournament tonight.
My gut tells me flight and hotel.
Yeah.
That's like standard across all borders of sponsorships.
Well, Loco, how much was it for you guys to get over? You know, I mean, to get an entire team, stateside, as well as putting yourself up.
We love no, it was full funding by Apex. We love East Coast events because it's cheaper. Really, if we're lucky, we can get it for about £320 in dollars. That probably comes to about $500. But yeah, exactly. But for us, that's good. So we got it for about that price, and then there was the deal with the hotel, thanks to, of course, Hyperstation. So we must have got it definitely around, well under, I'd say about $2,000 or something.
That's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
That's not bad at all. So, I mean, ideal prize purse, you know, God knows what Hype pays out because I don't think anyone actually knew, but I would have to say, I think, assuming that first place would get it, I'd say like $5,000, $6,000 per person, so everything's covered, and so that you benefit like $200, $300.
This is the thing about the exchange rate. The exchange rate can play a lot in our favor with regards to Americans coming over because, you know, at one time it was 1 to 2, so it would double the prize money for Americans. It makes it more attractive, the prize purse. Yeah. So, you know, at the minute, I think it's about 1.5. $5,000-6,000. Are you talking the fund or for first place?
First place would be my guess.
Yeah. I mean, we have made. I also work for the EGL. We have made considerable inroads with Microsoft. They sponsored with a lot of prizes the last event, but no cash. However, you know, it's something that we're working on, and we can boost the prize fund and guarantee some American teams to come over. Even if we could work something out, I shouldn't really say this, but I'd love to work something out where maybe there's a tournament where American teams could win, you know, flights to EGL across Hype EGL kind of deal.
Yeah, kind of like what MLG did with GSL, the whole StarCraft thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, it doesn't. It's not going to be as fancy and glamorous, but at the same time, it could be awesome. You know, it could get, you know, new UK teams out to America and new American teams to a European event. I mean, there's only been one obviously fails, right? So it's kind of unknown territory.
Mm-hmm.
True. I think it's brilliant.
I like
now we just need to form a GSL studio where we can just have constant gameplay every day, top tier. Get them in groups. I can just quit everything in my life and just cast every day. And just get like paid like $50 a day and just squeak my way through.
But put that on like some kind of psychological research plan, you know?
Have you guys heard of the ACL announcing a circuit of events this year in Australia?
Oh yeah, that was another thing I forgot to write down. Yeah, they announced their circuit of events. The first one's in Sydney.
Yeah, that's right.
I would love to go to that, but God, I looked it up out of curiosity one night. I know I was talking to you, and I think it was like what, 1,600 for round trip.
Yeah. I'd actually got hit up by one of those guys to try to do a little casting with them. But I mean, I haven't looked thoroughly into it yet. But that's coin, man. That's a lot of money to get to where you got to go.
It's an 18-hour plane ride, dude.
Hey, man, I got friends down there in Australia, though. You know, and I've been meaning to move down.
If I'm going to Australia, it's not like Europe. I can go for a weekend, have a good ass time casting top tier matches. But if I'm going to be on a plane for 18 hours, I'm there for 7 months.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
I got buddies down in Coffs Harbour, and I've been to Perth and Brisbane, and I mean Australia is a really incredible place, man. So who knows what's in store for that, you know?
I mean, I would just cross over and just head on over to New Zealand personally, just for a bit, just to check it out, you know?
That'd be awesome.
Well, we're going with Apex for the Call of Duty team. We're trying to get the Gears of War team out there as well, but honestly, it's a first for any other continent to go to Australia to play esports like that, at least in the console scene. So it'd be great to have some American commentators there or something. So you guys should work something out, man. Again, a hype ACL kind of thing, because it'd be so cool if like a small group, a small club of people would each time traveled around between Europe, Australia, America, and just it's a combination of different nationalities working together. to kind of produce a worldwide circuit, if you know what I mean. Obviously, some events bigger than the other, but nonetheless.
Where is that worldwide circuit? Speaking of that, where's the World Cyber Games at? Have they pretty much died out? I haven't heard much of them.
They had a fallout with Samsung, I believe. They were arguing over something, and Samsung basically funds WCG. So
right,
without Samsung support, basically
gone. History.
Yeah. It also depends on what your local councils will fund as well. Like for example, some of our teams from the UK don't always go to events because our event doesn't multiplayer. They don't want to put up the money on their side to send teams over. So some guys get screwed over and don't get the opportunity to play certain games.
Right.
Sucks.
So it would have to be like a mutual agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we could do it.
You think we could?
I think. I mean, we would have to be very dedicated. And not mess up once, but I think it's
of
fine.
Course.
The start is to get guys to Europe anyway, from America. That's where we begin. And we are working on that as well. I'm working on making opportunities to get people over as well. I know we can't expect you guys to chip in completely every single time, and where we can help, we will help. I've stated this before publicly, that we are working on ways to do this.
It'd be cool. I'm very interested in going to one of these.
Yeah, it's about getting a variety of people over, I mean, we're going to have 4 events this year, so that's 4 opportunities to get a couple of Americans over. And that's what we want to do.
Do you have like a general time frame, yeah, for each event?
Okay, so we've announced one event. The next event will probably be between May and June. I mean, that's all I can say right now. Okay. To answer people on the stream, EGL5 is in Blackpool, the same as EGL2.
Okay.
But you guys won't know where it is. It's like in the north of England. But yeah, so it's going to be 4 events. The last one's always quite a big one as well. If we don't get an American team over this year, I'll be so shocked.
You're going to get one.
Yeah.
You might.
I think so.
Hey, you might not. You never know. But speaking of that, I mean, what's going to go on with like your maps and stuff like that? How are you guys gonna be integrating that? Are you gonna be picking up any of the new maps, or just stick with basics? How are you going to be running your settings, etc.?
Well, we're thinking about bringing back gridlock. The way we play it actually is a little bit faster than American. Believe it or not. But yeah, every time I watch American streams, I've seen people running away with a sniper to a Hamburg tower, and that's kind of what slows the map down. And it happens a lot in the bigger matches, but in Europe, no one can be bothered. For some reason, it's just a particularly fast map over here. And also Mercy, we're looking at doing, if we can't do sort out a slab situation and people don't buy the maps, then we're just going to use Mercy, but with custom swaps, and try and change up a little bit. It'll do. I mean, look, if Hyperstation repicks it up or MLG just have Mercy invest straight away, then it's not a bad thing to carry on playing it. It's not the greatest map, but it's not. It can be played competitively. So, at least I think so.
So slow.
It's
just so slow.
Even though, like, just speaking of other tournaments, the ACL, when I was casting for him, Vero and I did it together. Mercy, fastest map on the face of this earth. Those players, like, how when you get outside like the top 16, top 24, the teams like to stalemate and kind of just play it very slow.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen in ACL. Everyone pushes.
Do they have 7-round rule?
Huh?
They don't have a 7-round rule. We
never had a problem with it. I'll tell you that much because it's too fast. Rounds were taking 38, 40 seconds.
Just to interject one more time, I mean, don't forget that it's we're talking about 3 different play styles. I mean, the European Apex team came over to the States, and I mean, no offense to you, Loco, but the Americans kind of just, I mean, you said it the best. I mean, they play defensively, they play offensively kind of thing. So I can only imagine, with U.S. teams starting to integrate into the, Australian scene, how much that gameplay would change.
Well, at the end of the day, if Americans, will more than likely be better than every other continent. Well, almost guaranteed, but it's a trickle-down effect. You get the American community, or even the European, because more than likely the European community is going to be better than the Australian community on average. Mm-hmm. So, you send Europe, you send America, it's a trickle-down effect. In the same way, you sending America to Europe is a trickle-down effect there as well. It's just, it adds to the experience. It makes more variety of teams. Obviously, we could all play online against each other. This would not be an issue, but unfortunately it is.
Of course. So, next.
Damn you online.
Huh?
Damn you latency.
Next, I'm sure a lot of you already know, but recently Game Trailers TV did a little interview with Rod. No. Who was it?
Rod. It was Rod.
It was Rod.
Ferguson.
It was Rod. Okay. I was just, I don't know why I down myself there, but it was Rod Ferguson, and we saw the what was it called? Force of Nature map pack coming out.
Force of Nature.
And supposedly Jacinto is coming back, along with Raven Down. You know, both remakes, they look a little different. So we're going to see how that pretty much looks. I'm going to play this for you guys and let us know what you think. Hold on here.
Are you pulling our mics?
No.
Okay.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. You know what I'm saying? What's up, stream? How you guys feeling?
Good job, Loco, by the way. You knocked it out of the park. I was very, very proud of you.
Oh,
You did a good job.
Mate,
Explaining
I'm
everything.
holding on, mate. I felt I was more articulate than this time around.
Yeah, dude. We have Americans aren't that smart.
Have fun, mate. We have fun. That's
on
most important.
GTTV, your ultimate guide to the world.
Our
of
very
video
own
games.
Jeff
And
Keighley.
now we've got a big DLC announcement for fans of Gears of War 3. I
didn't realize we were off, by the way.
is here with me,
Did not,
and tonight you're announcing the final DLC map pack,
But no,
which
but
is
yeah,
called
about
Forces
this whole
of
thing, like
Nature.
getting you guys
Yes,
over.
all the
It's
maps
like,
are themed around that notion of forces
you know, when
of nature,
you want to
tornadoes,
talk about
tsunamis,
something, but
all
you're
that
literally not
huge
able to
fog.
because you can't quite guarantee
Yeah, actually, a
something.
little snow going
Yeah, so
on.
I don't wanna
That's
dangle the
Ravens
carrot,
Down.
kind of.
Ravens Down is now a nice
Right.
snowy wonderland.
What's this
All right,
stuff?
well, let's
What are
quickly
we
go
watching
through these
right
new
now?
maps because I know we've got footage to show everyone of them. Tell us about those 3 brand new ones.
Okay, well, there's Artillery, which is a sort of a missile silo map. Then there is Aftermath, which is the one that's the tsunami with the ship on top. And then there's Cove, which is sort of this port town that's got a huge bank of fog and sort of the coast.
Joki's coming back.
And 2 maps that
Are you commentating,
Yeah,
Gandhi?
Jacinto.
And with Columbus?
Ah, yes.
And then Ravens Down, which is the kind of
Apex
controversial
is,
one. Because Ravens
the
Down is
team, and I'm
our
going with
smallest
the
map we've
coach.
ever made. Is the
No
map that
shit.
hated
You
it.
wanna come
up
It
with
was so
this?
small.
I need
And
someone
the fans loved it, and so we decided, let's bring it
Wanna
back.
come and hang out?
It's
yeah,
chaotic. Like even in
yeah.
Beast, when you first
Yeah.
spawn,
Hey,
like
Greg.
sometimes they don't even have time to put down fortifications are right on you because it's so
You
close.
there
But
Sunday night?
yeah, if you want
Yo,
that
boys,
second
still
fun,
on.
Ravens Down is the map for
We'll
that.
say, yeah.
Oh, God. All right.
Now you're also adding
Yes,
something
quiet.
pretty cool for this DLC pack, which are elemental
Yeah, we'll talk about it, yeah,
cleavers, which I guess
cool.
ties into the nature theme.
The books
So
are
these
going.
are actually going to be sort of new weapons or effects on the weapons.
Well,
right?
yeah, it's the kind of Easter eggs. If people who know play Gears 3, there's a lot of Easter eggs in all of our
Yeah,
multiplayer
we
maps,
play.
and this is
We'll
another one for
chat.
Horde, essentially. So
Yeah.
that you can find these elemental cleavers. There's like 1 per map or 4 of the maps that have like a fire effect, and so when you hit somebody, they'll like go on fire or like burst with electricity and that kind of stuff. And we actually have an achievement tied to using them, finding them, and using them and killing guys with it. And we've got 4 new characters. We got the limited editions of the ones we had for pre-order. So we have the Mechanic Bear, Commando Dom, Savage Grenadier. So those have been tweaked to become their own sort of characters. And then we have a new one called the Savage Hunter, which no one's ever seen before, and it looks awesome.
Oh, peanut.
All right, well, there's lots in there. It's the brand new Gears of War Forces of Nature DLC. You guys can
think
download
it's
at
epic?
the end of March.
March 27th. Thanks.
All right, now we're back with that. So what do you guys think? Jacinto, Raven Down, the other new maps. Do you think Jacinto is going to work at all?
Yes. I think
You do?
Jacinto. I think Jacinto will be a pretty good map. You know, when I did a running ranked episode, and it was like over the 3-lane design rule that Quinn Del Hoyo was talking to me about a while ago, and you know, some of the things what I said where I thought a map would transfer well, I thought Jacinto would, but the 2 changes that I thought needed to go into effect were like the one-way hop over mantles. One was down at Mortar. You guys remember that one? You just hop over down those steps, but you couldn't hop back the other way. And then the other one was over at Boom Shot. When you go up into the tower and then wrap around, you hop over, but you couldn't hop over the one way to go up into the tower from Boom. So I thought if those 2 changes happen, that would be like really good for that.
Mm-hmm.
It would follow kind of the 3-lane rule. You wouldn't have like ways that you couldn't flank and, you know, make it kind of slow. But then you got the addition of that tunnel, I think, that runs through the Gorgon. And then instead of having mantled, I think they made just steps based on the fly-through. So I think that it'll play out pretty well. I'm interested to see, and I'm going to bring it up, like TDM. I want to know how it plays out on a map like Jacinto.
TDM.
And I mean, people are still hating on TDM. We can't get a scrim with it, but I still want to kind of see how it plays out. Other than that, I mean, I think it'll play well for execution, maybe for King, depending on where those hill spawns are at. I mean, I still think it'd be kind of ridiculous to put a hill spawn up at like the Inks or whatever, the nades. I don't think there was there a hill in there on Gears 2? I don't remember if there was or not. I remember the Bulltox,
I don't believe
so. That center spot. So yeah, I mean, it should play out pretty well on King as long as there aren't any ridiculous hill spawns that are really hard to break. But yeah, I'm excited. And Raven Down is also another map. Oh my God, that was so fun. Annex, Gears 1, Raven Down, nonstop.
I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, even so much as warm-up maps. I mean, Game Battles is I mean, they picked that up back in the day, and I mean that was another one of those maps, man, that you could actually beat host teams on, and I mean it was just really fast and fluent. You had to make some real good heads-up plays, and if you got crossed, I mean, you knew a team was flying at you from your lefts or your rights if you got down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Charlie, can you like lower your mic like a little bit?
Yeah.
It's like you're coming in like real loud.
I had to pull my second headphone.
Really?
Yeah.
He's fine for me. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I have sensitive ears.
But
know, I'm not looking forward to Jacinto.
You're not.
Oh, yeah.
I hate it. Man, that was like the first map when I got into Gears of War 2 with Cream that I played on. I just have like terrible memories of just getting slammed and trying to figure out the Gears of War 2 shotgun. And you know what? It affected me. Bad traumatic effect.
Well, just
I'm
glad you
not
didn't
sure.
have to play any of the other maps.
How do you guys feel? What do you guys feel about about the, like, I guess the in-game hazards? Like Jacinto is super. I mean, it's dark, it's dingy, it's emulsion fed. I mean, and that, I mean, I guess that goes with Aftermath, Artillery Cove. I mean, they're all more darker maps that have natural hazards. How do you think that's going to play?
I mean, one's a sandstorm, one has like a tornado coming.
Tornado.
I guess
a blizzard. Raven Down's like kind of like a blizzard now, and I don't know, like environmental effects aren't terrible so far. I mean, the dust storm on trenches is like the biggest one really so far in any of the maps, and even that's
as long as they don't hurt you.
So that's all I care about. That's Forces in Nature. That's due out March 27th. It's new downloadable content. That's Aftermath, Artillery Cove, and they're bringing back Jacinto and Raven Down. That's I guess if you have the season pass, $30, you will see the content for free, and those without the pass can expect to pay about 800 Microsoft points, or roughly $10. And I guess on top of the new maps, the Forces of Nature downloadable content includes 4 new character skins, 5 weapon skins available, pretty much right after your download, and then 2 that are actually unlockable weapons. And then I guess it comes down to this 4th downloadable content is going to be the peg. This is pretty much it for Epic as far as them fulfilling their deed for the season pass. So I mean, what's next? We play these, we get hungry, we want more, and I mean, like directly back down the Rod, he says it's kind of a never say never perspective. They've completed the obligation of the season pass, so now it's all about the community, man, and that want and need for new maps, etc. So it should be pretty neat to see how this integrates here within the next couple months.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, what you basically said, it's kind of like a demand-based thing. If there is demand for new maps, there will be new maps. But I would honestly rather them focus on other issues right now than making new maps, because there's a lot I would like done just to make this game so much better. And I know we could talk about it all day. But, I mean, just keeping on the new maps, I think King of the Hill, Raven Down, that could work. I just want to see it, though. It could be crazy. I don't know.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be hectic as hell, especially with the nades where it's at. It might be a little too wild.
Yeah, that one might be just a little too chaotic, just a little bit.
I just want to see it.
I want to play. I definitely want to play it. Now I'm gonna have to pub stomp in that a whole lot. Like I'm voting for that nonstop. But I don't know how to play in a competitive atmosphere. Just
Well, what about TDM Raven Down? Is that just bad? Would that not even work?
It wouldn't work.
Not at all?
It's hard. This is the thing about TDM. It's hard enough just to get people to even think about doing it. We mentioned it last week that we wanted to do TDM scrims. And I remember the Hammerburst scrims just to show them, and we couldn't get anybody to do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it kills me, because it's like, you guys want all these changes, but you won't do shit to show what needs to be changed. You just want to play.
But is that where we're at kind of thing? I mean, is
are
there already a preconceived notion that it's going to be a Lancer?
Does he sound auto-tuned to anybody else? Or
That's
just
how
me?
it is. That's Gears for you.
You're good.
He's better now.
You're good. You were auto-tuned for a little bit. Say that all again.
Okay. Fuck.
I can repeat what he said.
Is that the preconceived notion? You know, as far as Gears of War is concerned, you know, Lancer Nasher. That's the start. You know, I mean, are you saying this to try to integrate weapons like the Retro and Hammerburst back into the competitive scene? I mean, is that what you're trying to do?
No, I'm not saying use them how they are. It's just that everybody's like, it's OP, it's OP, it's OP. But they won't make a scrim or make a video to show why it's bad. Like, they won't prove it. Like, you know, Quinn,
we know this. This is
the thing. We know this.
Just already put on a platter for you, saying we already know it's OP. We've already looked way past this. Why is that even part of the discussion right now?
Listen, it's not that I want the Hammerburst or the Retro as is in at all because it won't work. I want them, Quinn and Pete, to see why it won't work because that's the only way it's going to happen for them to change anything.
It's like pulling teeth. Like, Kenny's had the discussion with Quinn. I've had the discussion with Quinn. CDN has had the discussion with Quinn. We've had these discussions with Pete. Anyone that was at Raleigh chimed in, and like, unless they see it either by playing as a sub in a scrim or, you know, getting in on video or, you know, having teams scrim with video or just spectating these matches, they don't believe it. Like, they would be like, yes, it works. And then I think I would go as far as to say, even if they see it not work, it still wouldn't be changed. I just don't think, like, he'd be like, oh, you guys are doing it on purpose. Just cause. I feel like that's something that Quinn would at least do. But I mean, I just don't see any type of changes with those. Like, we're just not going to use them, and they'll forever be how they are. I mean,
right? That's how it is. I mean, as long as we have that competitive, you know, as long as there's that competitive playlist, I don't understand why that's such. We know that it's OP. I mean, obviously, there's nothing that's going to be, you know, done about it. You know?
Yeah, that's just what it is. I don't.
Right. That's what it is.
Kenny, I mean, like, you and I have gone back and forth. We know the chats, the discussions. Like, it's just not going to happen, dude. It's just not going to happen. Best we can get is a brothers to the end with no stopping power.
Oh,
and people have a whole lot of fun, but then it stops after a week, and you guys can kiss the no stopping power, active boost goodbye. That's it. That's all you're going to get.
Yeah,
but it comes back with enough demand.
Let's talk about that. I mean,
I'm sorry. Look at Alpha.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it'll come back, but I'm just saying it's not gonna. I don't see it being anything more than that.
Right.
Just event playlist.
Yeah. Cool. I like the way you look at it that way. I feel the same way.
Yeah. Talking about that playlist, I got to play just a few matches before this show started because people were talking about it on Twitter, and I was like, "What do you mean, no stopping power Lancer?" So I hopped on, you know, as soon as I got a chance, and it was awesome. You know, to say the least. I mean, when a guy's lancering you, you're actually able to get in his face with a shotgun and not stop to a crawl. And, like, just to get a little taste of it, it makes me sad because I have a feeling it'll never be changed. So it's like, it's kind of like a tease. It's like, hey, you like this, don't you? Well, you're not going to get it.
Pretty much.
I mean, like, I've been jumping on probably around like 9 to like 11:30, you know, 8:30 to 11 every night, you know, and getting my 10 to 15 games of Alpha. And what's going on with that Brothers at the end? You know, I mean, it's obviously a great playlist, but I mean, are the numbers picking up kind of thing? Like when you look in, what's that quick match to ranked match ratio looking like?
It's like quick match is at like 2,500 when I played, and ranked was like 400. Like nobody ever wants to play ranked. Like they just don't want to play ranked because what happens is you get matched up as a bunch of individual parties against a full party. You get destroyed. You hate your life, and you just don't want to play. So everybody just plays quick match. That's just how it is.
I think we talked about this early on. It's like one of the things that need to be revamped about their ranked and quick match thing. Is like there's no really distinguished incentive to go into ranked versus quick match. So it's just like, to me, it was just a poor wording and execution of ranked and quick match. But I would definitely love to see more ranked numbers, but it just doesn't happen.
It's kind of short, really. It's half a Call of Duty attempt of a ranking system and nothing on a shadow of the Halo ranking system. Did you guys ever experience the Halo 3 ranking system? LG matchmaking?
Yes.
I mean, it was...
That really, honestly, yeah, it's addictive. It's just addictive. and it's simple as well. All the armor perks, stuff like that in Call of Duty, that works as well. And I think in Gears of War, it has like half a ranking system that worked for a little bit at the start with the novelty factors of the weapons and the armor, and then it's kind of flowed from that.
The only pet peeve I got with that ranking system, man, is the thought process that went on behind it, to put it out there, because there is no way that you're 100, or you're an 89 and blue right now without jumping in and doing that Reaver glitch or in-game mechanic glitches or whatever gets you there. Mm-hmm. That's my only real gripe with it. So I jump in and I'm a 60 something, I'm a green 60 something, and I see some guys that are 150 levels above me, kind of thing. It's like, WTF, man? There's no way you're grinding harder than I am right now. No way. It's not possible. Like, get real, get bent.
I know, dude. Like I
get reported.
I thought I was playing a ton of ranked when the re-up came, and then like 2 days in, I see somebody is what's your first color? Is it green? And then I saw somebody red in like 2 days. I was like, get out of here. There's no way. There's just no way. I mean, it sucks because people always got to find a way to glitch and get ahead for no reason.
Yeah. Either way, it is what it is. As long as at the end of the day, the #1 guy on the leaderboards that cheated isn't getting a guitar, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy!
I don't think anybody just caught on. I'm pretty like that Ghost 187 kid, the kid that banged out the Gears of War leaderboard.
Gears of War. Yeah, I remember that.
Like a Gears of War electronic guitar, or something nice out of it.
What can you do?
Kenny, one of the other things I kind of wanted to touch on, I guess, was like team states right now.
Oh yes, yeah, you can talk about that a little.
Obviously there was that shuffle with NBN, Raw Talent. And so you guys know, because I didn't really talk about us when we were talking about teams, I think it was last week. Raw Talent decided to part ways with XL, and right at the time we were like trying out a bunch of different people. And in the process, obviously XL is a part of ZYN, sorta. I mean, he is a member of the team. He just wasn't playing with us for Gears. So we ended up picking up XL. He called me up and was like, hey, I'm done with Raw Talent. Have you guys found a fourth yet? If not, I want to be on the squad. So it was just like, out of obligation. One, he's already a member of our team, and two, I mean, I love Dan. I played with Dan for a long ass time on Gears 1. So he's back on the squad. So right now it's me, Phobos, Skyless, and XL. And then Raw Talent, after they parted ways, dropped, whatever you want to call it, with XL, they picked up Phillies. Is that 100% correct? I think Kenny said Phillies.
To my knowledge,
I think that's who they picked up.
Supposedly, yeah.
To my knowledge, I've heard the same thing.
Yep.
So that's who Raw Talent has. I'm not sure who NBN is scrimming with as their fourth right now. They had Nasty for a little bit.
Carson's, Predator.
Yeah.
Predator.
They play with so many people. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Definitely NBN, definitely reaching out, man. Just just 3 alpha powerhouses or whatever, trying to find their fourth. Mm-hmm. And then Arctic, going back to you. I mean, going back 3 episodes. You were talking Phobos. Obviously, I guess how you said it, not underskilled, but I guess just kind of not where he needed to be, just due to the lack of Gal 2 and just picking up Gal 3. I mean, are you definitely sitting down with him as your dominant fourth still?
What we've done is basically changed all of our positions right now. So we're seeing how he works and some of the spots that I played or Skyless played, and we're kind of revamping things where we're a lot more aggressive. And so far, we've had a lot of success in what we've done, but we're putting ourselves in an environment where we can kind of build up. So like, I just feel like we're trying to give each other maybe a second wind, see what we can do as far as keeping us the core 3 guys together, and then adding XL versus dropping 2, picking up 2. I think we'll have like a better mold chemistry in a month or so.
Man,
after we figure out these spots.
You pretty much had me at aggressive right there, KL. You know what I'm saying? That'll be something pretty exciting to see you guys come out and actually start slaying.
Yep. So
interesting.
That's where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So, Nick Merckx, when you look back at things, was it a bad decision for him to end up leaving the Insanes? Overall? A spitball question.
Speaking of the Insanes, what's the deal with Prison? Is he on the team? Is he not on the team?
Yeah.
He is?
He's still on.
I keep hearing like wild rumors, like he isn't, like nobody really knows, because the Iowa Pro Gaming Challenge. I think Insanes are going there with a different fourth because he's not going to fly out, I guess.
I mean, he's a college kid in a recession.
Yeah,
not everyone's gonna have the money.
Just want hype. You know what I'm saying? Or you just want
hype, and they haven't got the money yet. I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't go out to.
As far as that whole murder by numbers insane team, they are 8 guys or whatever that have from coming up in the ranks of Gears, they've just been trading each other back and forth, per event. So who knows what that big ass just alpha family looks like right now.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Do you think it was a good decision or a bad decision? Everyone kind of is beating around the bush, but
Nick's doing his thing. I mean, he's trying to put together his team.
Doing well.
I mean, with the return of Jay, I finally got to run into Jay in a ranked game the other day. Obviously not having an opportunity to scrim him, but he hasn't lost his touch. Not one bit. He comes in, he's banging right now. So I mean, who knows if that Shane J Nick plus whatever fourth they reach out to and grab is going to actually be able to do it for him. So I'm just wondering right now if they're gonna reach out to try and grab a GOAT, or if they're gonna reach out for somebody that is under their speed yet laying down the proper support for them to do whatever they got to do.
Scott, I think for me, that question is is that a bad decision? I think it's still verdict is out. I mean, they didn't do poorly at Hype by any means. They didn't do poorly. They just didn't place how everyone expected them to place, which was first or second. So, I don't know. I mean, it's you can't say it's a poor decision because they still placed pretty well, but I mean, it's not the greatest decision because they didn't get better than the Insanes, but the Insanes didn't win. So, I think it verdict's out.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Yep.
What else we got? With that Gal Nation tournament getting ready to come up here, they got that March. What is it? Gears of War March Madness.
Yeah, I have the link for it. I'll post in the chat for you guys.
There is.
They're calling it the Gal Nation March Madness. Here's a link. A little long, but
Jesus.
Yeah, make sure to check that out. There's a ton of online teams in there, a couple bigger name teams, and Gal Nation, they always seem to put on a pretty good show. They do all right in my book.
Yeah, it should be good.
One of the things that I think I wanted to kind of touch on with the Gal Nation was I think Waterdog made a post and someone shared it in that little page that we have about some of the top players not being active on Gal Nation, and specifically Waterdog said in the post, made it something. He said even ZYN isn't on the forums anymore, as a testament to why is none of the top teams or players or figureheads are posting. And I made it abundantly clear, back when we were trying to push new game type, we were trying to get King in, trying to get TDM teams to play that. And I went on the Gal Nation forums and was trying to be vocal about that stuff. And you get people that just makes me so upset with talking with people, but they're ZYN is trying to ruin the game. Everyone is trying to ruin the game. It's what the fuck are you talking about? We're trying to test settings. Where do you get off that we're trying to ruin the game when people are trying to test settings to, again, help further the community, not deter, not derail it, not put it in the ground. We're trying to help it grow. So I think from that perspective, I was dude, I'm fucking done with the Gal Nation forums. I will promote any content that they have, but I'm not going to get on those forums and post it all when you have people in the community that just their head isn't on straight. They're not thinking clearly to me. So it's just a waste of my time to go on there and go back and forth with 5 dudes that are you guys are out to ruin the game. Fuck you. And I'm what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude,
it's just a waste of time for me.
I'm used to it, man.
You know where that comes from too, man. I even coming up through Gal 1, the split community kind of thing. Some kids went one way, some kids went another, and there's just in that whole there's been a yin and the yang, since the dawn of this game. So I mean that's how it is, and I fully understand why you don't post in these forums. I don't either. I'm not a big forum guy.
I avoid it myself.
This isn't the good, by the way, right? Because on the basis of DeSoto, okay, where Europe's largest, in fact, probably the world's largest, bigger than anything America have. America don't have a DeSoto. So one of the largest Call of Duty competitive websites going, right, okay, and the reason why it thrived is because of its focus not completely, but majority on the online community. So all the top players, they contributed to a forum, even amongst the shit that they got, all the banter, all the trash talk. And also the site focuses on news releases. Now, I don't see any Gears of War competitive community site that produces news on team changes, on upcoming tournaments, little things, kind of a social hub for. Obviously, you've got the forum itself, but there's no news. Do you guys not guys think it's not important to produce articles? A couple of articles a week on what's happening in the scene for lower down teams as well as the higher teams, or have you just not thought about?
I definitely think it's important. It's just nobody does it. I mean, you have G-Con and Gal Nation, but nobody's really writing articles about team changes and tournaments and such. I mean, they're just kind of there.
Yep.
I guess it does take an interest from someone wanting to write it, but at the same time, I'm surprised that no one does want to write about it. There's a lot of journalism in the Gears of War community, but in the context of writing articles, there's none. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, for me, it's like I either can focus on writing, and then write on my blog, or write for someone. I mean, I've been approached by a lot of people to write, but there's only 24 hours in a day. I can make videos, then I have practice, and then I have other content that I have to do, other obligations. So it's like I just don't have the time to do that stuff. So I would love to see someone else do it. I can only do so much.
Where is the major drive for it right now? Where is the drive for that person to go and hunt down these teams and figure out who's playing with who without like a major tournament incentive? I can only imagine that if this game was picked up on the pro circuit, or if Hype Fest Station 3 has already been announced, that there would be somebody all about wanting to try and put these names down on paper. But come on, man. I mean, we're in the middle. Gears is in the middle of a recession right now. There's teams scrimming, but I mean, Arctic, Cream, Loco. I mean, if you guys are still playing, I mean, it's obviously to get a scrim that people care about right now is definitely on the downside of things.
There needs to be more online tournaments, even just 1 day cups or 1 week cups, or 1 month cups. There has to be more of that, because even though it's nothing more than a scrim, especially when it's on the prizes, it's a state of mind. It's creating the illusion that they're playing within a more competitive environment.
Right.
And people, and not just that, it comes with all the streaming and all the commentating. It's exactly the kind of project that Gao.se is doing. I wonder why people haven't just set up a little bracket on Challenge and got a 32 team tournament going on a Sunday every week. It's easy to do.
I don't know.
Something I've looked into, my friend.
I'm trying to get mine off the ground.
I need the casting practice, to be honest.
A whole entity of a different hunger, man.
I'm trying to get mine off the ground, dude. I mean, I've been having hard enough time getting somebody to make me a damn logo. It's that ridiculous.
People, it's just little things like that end up adding up.
Cream, right there, you say about getting a logo. This is how the circle works. It produces news, but it has a graphics team as well. All of these guys are volunteers, so we do it for free. But you see how creating a culture of producing team news and articles results in the requirement for people to step up for graphics and stuff, and it's like a domino effect. People want to get more involved in their specialist skill. So again, I know we've just talked about it, but a news site or something, more production of news, because you can get complementary people, complementary skills kind of thing, graphics, etc. You can't get a logo. That's ridiculous, because I can go, tomorrow morning I can get a logo for any game I want instantly from a few volunteers. There must be people out there who are willing to do these kind of things.
It's really hard on the American side, dude.
Dude, I've done like 3 SOSs to get graphics done, and I've had 4 different volunteers. All of them said they'll do it, and then they all flake.
Yeah, this is what happened. I tweeted out days ago. I said, Jane Nanu, I see you in the chat. I just didn't talk to you. That's my fault, because like 10 people hit me up, and I was trying to multitask talking to all these people. But all these people hit me up saying, yeah, I'll make you a logo. Blah. I gave them all the details. It's gonna be this. Nothing even crazy. I just need a logo. I need a damn logo, or I can't do this. And they're all like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. One dude showed me something, and that was it. They all disappeared. Like it's ridiculous.
It's such a culture difference. Honestly, it's like you need parts of us, we need parts of you.
Yeah, and like I said, Duke Skills would make my stuff, but he even vanished.
Dude, he's
I'm
practicing.
Moved to Europe is what I've concluded from this.
Yeah,
Europe just sounds cooler. You guys have like lands every weekend and shit. In America,
you should go for everything except for the gaming, Candy. I think.
In America, all I have left is broken dreams and no motivation.
Broken dreams.
But for the Australian League.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I think one of the things that needs to happen is, this is kind of what Hype is doing or trying to do or attempt to do. I think that, and, NJ Halo does a pretty good job of this, but I feel like the epicenter right now for Gears is East Coast. So, like, East Coast people, teams, personalities, players, everything, those need to be the guys that are constantly doing things to make the competitive community grow. I feel like, again, we kind of allude to the fighting game community, but if you think about the fighting game community, they have like two big epicenters. One is on the East Coast, one is on the West Coast. And those two distinct sides are what keep the community alive, and they have regular events all the time being streamed. People, huge numbers showing up to locals, and it's just like we don't have that because I think one of the reasons is because this is a game that's 4 versus 4, so it's like it's kind of hard to organize that. But even 2v2 stuff, I think we should start trying to do a little bit more. And it's just a matter of if the East Coast players start doing that consistently, But I don't see it happening in the near future. But that's what I feel like needs to happen, at least in the States, for it to kind of continue to flourish.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I mean, we have what, like a handful of West Coast players who play Gears of War, and then the rest come from the Midwest, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Midwest, East Coast, yeah. I mean, I don't know what the breakdown is. I'd say there's more Midwest players than West Coast. But
well, you would just combine them.
Yeah, I would just combine them. I just throw those all together.
Yeah, 5 West Coast teams, if that.
Time to have an all-star
6.
classic kind of thing.
The thing is, there's more teams out there, but they don't.
5 that'll show up.
They don't go anywhere. Yeah, like they won't fly out to the East Coast to compete.
That'll show up.
If it's West Coast, you'll see those teams suddenly like popping up. But unless it's in the West Coast, you're not going to really see them unless it's online.
Right.
Right.
I mean, what's the difference, man? Either way, it's from California to Philadelphia, it's $283. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Either way you look at it, it's just the fact that the West Coast teams, are at a bare minimum, and they're not going to show up. Been there, done it. I've been in San Diego. I was there for 7 years. I mean that whole Gears of War scene over there is the whole competitive gaming thing over there is just kind of shut down, in my opinion. I mean, Call of Duty tournaments. That's pretty much the only thing you really find.
Oh yeah, the LAXP thing they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, machine.
But I mean, not even that. As far as like your locals and your locals and whatever other tournaments are there.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to say?
Go ahead.
I was just going to change the topic.
Too, guys.
Did you have anything to say? Because I'm going to change it up.
Behemoth.
Oh, you can change it up. That's fine.
Okay. I don't think we mentioned this. We somehow skipped over it about Guardian coming back from Gears 2. I know nobody's going to really care about that, but I mean, do you think
no one's going to play it?
Yeah, I mean, do you think it matters that it's even coming back? Yeah, I mean, is it a big deal?
No one's going to play it. I want something new. Like that's not new.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, capture. Where is capture the flag, man? Where is it? I mean, how incredibly boss of a country is that?
Actually, I was thinking about it the other day.
2 spawns at the top and the bottom of a fucking map and put a flag on there and have people run back and forth for 4v4 style. Body them and move on. I mean, Gears has already adapted so much of the Call of Duty series and Halo series as is. As far as their structures. I mean, why not just do it, man?
I want to get bomb game type before I want to CTF.
Oh yeah, yeah. You talked about that a while ago, and then they showed a little bit of like incentive towards it, and then I think that was it. I don't
know. I feel like it was at least tested. I don't know. I mean, it seemed like it was an interesting enough. Like Quinn seemed like he was pretty pumped about it. They haven't said anything to me personally, but I personally feel like their interest was really high, but maybe it just doesn't work based off of what they have right now with Gears. Like the maps aren't built for it. The mindset wasn't there to make a bomb game type. But as far as like One Life game types go, I feel like that makes sense to have a bomb game type, and I feel like it could have worked really well with the story, planting the light mass bomb or whatever the hell that thing was called.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So I mean, it definitely makes sense with the Gears universe. I just too little too late maybe. I mean, maybe I should have mentioned it at the beginning of Gears 2 and they would have been like, oh yeah, that's a great ass fucking idea, but I looked on the forums and there was people
mentioned.
There was people
talked about since the dawn of time. Even if you go over to Epic's forums, they're huge. There's pages of asking for a game type like that.
Yeah. So I mean I don't know. I don't know why it wasn't put in. obviously they kind of tried CTF with the hell was it called?
The meat flag.
flag
yeah, where you had
just...
The thing was, you had to grab a guy, and all they had to do was shoot it, and then he shoots you. The flag kills you. What?
Come on.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think a flag would work.
It's like Gear Spin. It's that epic game spin.
Yeah, I know. Like, it made sense. But then you got a fucking flag that kills you? Come on.
You have to go to an object and grab it, and then drag it back. I want to be wall bouncing like a madman from point A to point B. To put my
kind of like the skill in flag tossing and flag juggling in Halo. You know how they toss the flag? Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
Imagine if you could wall bounce. Yeah, imagine if you wall bounced and tossed it so it went farther.
Execution.
Wall bounce, toss the flag. That'd be pretty sweet,
right? It would make. Doesn't it make sense? Like off a wall bounce, as soon as you let go, it goes farther.
I think that will kind of fill the void on some of those big maps like Azura and Academy.
Soon to be Jacinto.
Shit, imagine.
I think that will work for those. So,
fucking try it on Sandbar. I don't care.
But I still bomb game type is the only thing that I want. Like if they make that, like I will play Gears 3 for like 10 years. Be like Counter-Strike.
Why? So you wanted to take the same model as Counter-Strike?
No, I'm just saying. I said I'd play it for 10 years like Counter-Strike.
But would you have just one life, or would you just...
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, would it be a round kind of game type, and then you switch sides as to who's, like, Cog and Locust, and then one team starts with the bomb? Or do you want to have it work out kind of like how Halo did, where, like, the bombs in the middle, teams have multiple lives, they go at it...
Neutral bomb is awful. I hated neutral bomb.
I agree 100%.
So it'd be round based, yeah. It'd be round based, like Counter-Strike.
Yeah, but so with one life, but then I mean, now we have 2 1-life game types. Execution and this.
I think this is just me. And Quinn said it. He agreed with me in a forum post. I think it was a forum post.
It couldn't have been.
I'm sure it was. It was a long time ago. But when I talked to him about it, he feels like if a bomb game type based off of the 1 life rules kind of makes execution in Warzone obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
So I think ultimately, if a bomb game type were put in, then execution would need to go. That's just my personal feelings towards it. But obviously, again, based off of everything that you introduce into the Gears competitive community, I know there'd be backlash with it. I know people wouldn't want to do it. They'd be like, why can't we just do 2? The strategies are completely different, whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. You could have both, but I think bomb game type trumps execution.
Of course. I mean, it's a lot more than just, having to kill everybody. There's also an objective to it, so there's a lot more to it than just execution. But, killing execution, that's what started Gears,
Right. So it's like, I don't know.
I think just with how the spawns are, like currently with TDM, if they would just make another spawn where, let's take Old Town. You have Seaside where you have your initial spawn down low. Instead of flipping it up top, let's just say instead of spawning right at the Seaside, you spawn either like below Sniper or bottom Boom Alley kind of thing in that little corner. And so that way, when a team pushes in, they grab the flag, and then that they won't spawn there. They'll either spawn at Boom Alley or Snipe Side, and you run the flag accordingly. I think Capture the Flag would work perfectly for this game. But then again, I am a Halo kid, so I'm biased.
I don't know. I don't see how it would work, to be honest. It's just the map design on all these for 90% of the maps doesn't work with CTF at all.
Create a Forge world. That's how Halo reaches.
Yeah, hey, look, Gears. Look, Epic's got to be doing their next big thing, right? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kyle.
Did you see Quinn saying that?
I agree.
Adding Halo Forge, they don't have one map that's like original from the that Bungie created for Halo.
They really don't.
No, we do.
Pathetic.
We have 2.
Oh, you do?
Countdown and Zealot, but we added like portals.
Oh yeah, Zealot. You really you made it so you can't go into space and all that.
Yeah. So basically, we took exactly the map and we broke it down. It's the worst thing on the face of the earth is creating the Forge world. Epic, if anyone's in here who makes your games, do not put it in there, because what happens is Killer Casey will get his hands on it, and you won't see any of the fucking games back.
The problem is with Reach and the Forage, it's just that you're playing on a map and it's just metal gray everywhere. Like there's no color.
But then again, you put the opportunity, you put an entire game into one guy's hand, and you said, "Look, tinker with it, fool around with it, make sure that it works, and this is what they're gonna play," kind of thing. There was no bickering about setting swaps or anything along them lines. It was boom. This is what the guy says. That, this is him listening to the community, so that it works, and that's it. Halo's still, an incredibly strong dominant force, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
dominant force.
That's why
it needs to be resuscitated. But I do agree with you that it is, still the front runner. But nonetheless, I Forge World and Gears, I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe. Maybe.
We got too many problems trying to get them to do other things.
Stopping power's gone.
Get that stub pistol taken care of.
No,
stopping power.
Stopping power. I'll deal with the jelly. I'll deal with the jelly pistol all day. Just fix the stopping power, and I'm happy.
The jelly pistol.
Jelly pistol.
Yeah, it's like somebody dumped jelly on your pistol. Like the trigger gets stuck. It makes no sense.
The jelly pistol. I like that.
You so much.
What else we got? I take a couple quick questions from the stream. If there's anything,
I got one thing. I got two more things. Somebody tweeted at me, I forget their name. They said, do you think the lack of a tutorial really hurt Gears? Because Gears has a pretty steep learning curve, and in game there wasn't really much to teach you, like multiplayer wise. I mean, it was pretty much basic mechanics.
There was a tutorial.
Well, I mean, like on like proper multiplayer gameplay. Like breaking stuff down.
Well, I mean. Nope. If they had that, then what's the use for fucking YouTube? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's just you got people who don't go to YouTube. I know what you mean, but I'm just saying. I mean, imagine if they actually had that in the game, like saying in situations what to do. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Do people realize like how many? Even if they make a tutorial, you get so many questions from people that just don't understand third-person shooter. They don't get it. Like it does not. They can't put it together. And I'll have questions, and I'm not trying to make fun of people. I'm not trying to say anything like that. But I'll have some of the questions that it's just like, how do you not know that? How is it not common sense? And it's just because I played the game so long. So even if you put a tutorial in there's still going to be people that ask questions that are just mind-blowing to you. It's like, well, that's like the basic core fundamental of Gears, like right-hand advantage, for example. People like didn't grasp that when I posted it. It's just they just don't understand it, and it's not. I don't know if you can actually like make a tutorial, that many tutorials, but I just feel like people still won't get it. So even if there was like a basic tutorial that Epic made for the game, there would still be people that would be like, Gears of War is just too difficult for me. I can't play it.
Of course.
Let me go play Call of Duty or whatever.
So to answer that question, no. If a tutorial would be made, no, it wouldn't have made a difference.
I think it would help some people, honestly.
Well, I mean, it's already there though.
Hey, well, what about Loco? Well, let's get Loco's opinion.
I think he's dead.
I think he's dead too. I think he's passed out.
Yeah.
Hey, he's just been sitting there grinning.
Yo, Loco,
these fucking Americans won't shut up.
Do it or what?
So my opinion of a tutorial was like, were you talking like a basic multiplayer tutorial, or were you talking about a competitive tutorial?
Doesn't the game advise you like right off the bat? Doesn't Gears of War like when you start it says
it's like, hey, this is how you reload
to learn how to play multiplayer first?
I mean, there's things in Gears that people don't understand. Like, there's no wall bouncing tutorial in the game, even though wall bouncing is it's like Gears 101.
It's not really an official term, is it? Wall bouncing 3 games on is still an unofficial skill. It's not. Is it promoted in a manual as wall bouncing, or is it just taking cover?
Taking cover.
I'm pretty sure the guys over there at Epic are using the term wall bouncing.
I'll get the manual. I'll be right back. I'll get it.
Yeah, Loco. Do you feel like a tutorial would make a difference?
What you mean? I mean, a specialist tutorial for competitiveness, or just like on more skills?
I say like basic matchmaking, like multiplayer play.
Okay, so a little bit of consultation of gaming. I guess so. Yeah, I mean, nothing beats actually just playing a playlist online that's filled with plenty of players with the right rules. That would be a great start. But other than that, a tutorial, it's not a bad thing by any means. And as you were saying, Arctic, about people not understanding things like right-hand advantage. Only until they get killed like that 100 times do they realize to do something different. Will they understand how to use it? So yeah, you can't explain everything. but little movements and tricks and around the cover shooting and stuff. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. I know Barbosa dropped this question on me on Twitter. He said, I think we covered this already, and it was pretty much, talking about neutral hosting online and LAN tournaments and if it could be done. And on my side, I don't think it could be done on a larger scale, because then you need an extra box for everything, and then if you think about split screen, it's another set of boxes for that on the stations, and like it causes more problems because now you need more maps for this because of the new downloadables. I mean, online it could obviously be done. You just have somebody hop in. You got Nate's thing, the ready up servers,
the ready up now,
the ready up servers. But for LAN, I think it would be obviously the hardest way to do it.
But now here's my question. I mean, I think we talked about this in like the earlier episodes of the Active Reload. It's like talking about Gears of War and cloud gaming or cloud tournaments kind of thing, to where you could actually jump in on something like Ready Up Down and run a successful tournament kind of thing. Is that I think it's possible.
I think it could be done.
As long as there's a neutrality.
Yeah. Well, online it can easily be done. I just think the biggest challenge would be for LANs, like big tournaments. You now need way more boxes than you did before, because think about the split screen early rounds. You need a box for each little set, and there's so many more problems that could pop up now, and it's really isn't worth it.
It's not viable. It's definitely not viable. Especially if MLG are even going to remotely consider it, but definitely not. Of course not.
Yeah, I mean, and then say you get rid of host, now you got all these host players who are suddenly not as wanted as they used to be, because there are a lot of players that are way better on host than they are off host. It's been like that in every Gears.
Here's my thing: is online, yes, it does make sense if the neutral host actually does have a good host. But in regards to LAN, why strip away every advantage that higher seed has for
to make it the best possible competitive atmosphere? That's why.
I disagree with that, though. What's wrong with giving them an advantage? They've earned it, correct?
Not always.
I just feel like that's
okay. Well, with the exception of Infestation, I feel like they deserve it. I think if you should be rewarded for placing well, besides just money.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Like, hey, unless you want me to steal this one.
This is what advantage you get. If you're top seed, you play a team that is not very high in the seed, so you get an easy win your first round. That's the advantage that you get. So if you're number one seed, you get to play, what is it, the 16th seed? If we're talking about top 16, but
8, yes.
But that's the advantage. I mean, I don't really see why people need an in-game advantage in terms of host for games now. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. If you're the better team, you're going to win regardless.
Right, and let's say that Microsoft decides to throw a $1 million Gears of War tournament kind of thing. I mean, do you think that those top 16 seeds or whatever, or those top 16 teams that we know of that should be on that pro status, should just automatically get ready to come into that tournament in a top seed? By word.
Well, that's completely different. That's
not according
to
Tear.
Whole different tournament.
How's
that's a whole different tournament.
Not accordon to Tear. They deserve that number one spot.
Oh God, let's not get on that again.
No, that's what I'm saying is just looking at basic Hypefestation rules. Okay, you're getting rewarded for holding your seed. If you have a higher seed, I think it's okay. It's plausible. If it's doable to run a host with a neutral, give it a shot, yes, but I don't see a problem with it. I don't think it's night and day different. I didn't hear a single person throughout the entire Hypefestation say, "Oh, we lost because we were lower seed."
Because Gears 3's netcode is better than Gears 2 or Gears 1. If you go back to Gears 2 or Gears 1 and you talk about host, then you have people just like so upset about the host advantage in those games. It's not as bad in Gears 3 as it was in those two, but I mean, even when you talk about it online, it's not as bad unless you just get like an East Coast versus West Coast game environment. But it's not that big of an issue, so we don't really talk about it. But if you look at the history of Gears of War, you go back to Gears 1, and host was like people were dropping like 10, 12 kills, and everybody else on the team would have like 2. And they'd be like, what?
Yeah, but
untouchable too. Untouchable.
But that also added an entirely new element to the game to actually have to go out and find a host player.
It did.
I didn't
don't feel like teams should be rewarded for having a netcode advantage in game. That's not right. That's not good game mechanics. That's not a good game design at all.
Right.
Fundamentally, that's bad.
It's not fair,
Fundamentally, from a game
but
perspective, that's bad.
it's still an X factor, though, isn't it? Like, obviously, it's not great, but it's an X factor. It's a talking point, and it makes the tournament interesting to an extent. It's not being a bad thing for the whole thing, but obviously, on the basis of fairness, it's garbage.
Right. So, I mean, if you want to talk about what players should be looking for, they shouldn't have been looking for a host player in Gears 1 or Gears 2. They should have been looking for a snipe player, a Nasher player, someone that can torch.
They were, though.
I mean, they were, but I'm saying host players should not have been in the discussion because that wasn't like intentional. That's just bad game design.
All right, understandable. But then again, like I said, it added that new element to where you had to find a host player, man. A kid that could actually fucking handle it and not buckle under pressure, man.
The other problem was though you had these host players who were only really good hosts online because they had a shitty ass host. Right. So they were untouchable online. But then as soon as it came to MLG or any other big tournament, they got destroyed.
Well, that's every game.
Someone just mentioned Snipe, Ben. How was the playlist where you didn't have to reload with the Snipe?
Oh, yes. That was awesome.
Oh, God.
That was great.
It was good.
It was great.
People just popping, triple popping easier. It'd be amazing.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, that Snipe with the 4-bullet clip is so good.
Semi-automatic. Yeah, it makes the sniper actually feel like a power weapon and has viable use, but again, that's not something that we'll see, I don't think.
Nope.
In the
all
game.
These teases, Pete. Why are you teasing us? It's not fair.
Semi-auto snipe from Pete No with the greater than symbol. Welcome.
I mean, unless you guys are actually considering doing these things, please stop teasing me because it's not right. I mean, the stopping power I played before was awesome, and that sniper was great. But I mean, I have a feeling we're not going to actually see that.
Well, in the words of Ferguson, you gotta create the hype or whatever to get the demand, you know. So I mean, if he keeps teasing everybody with all these great with all these great incentives and playlists, you know, Gears of War 4 or bust, you know, the demand is there.
How can you even utter Gears of War 4?
It's already in the works, man. It's the next big thing.
They're working on Fortnite too.
It's already coming.
Yeah, they're working on Fortnite, man. From what I've heard and rumors on the net are that Gears of War 4 isn't even being developed by Epic. Just saying.
It's just like Halo Reach.
And just like Halo, so
it's just gonna fucking flop. No offense, Pete. You're decent at your job.
Remastered Gears of War 1. What?
Listen. I've gone through 2001. What is that? 11 years of hoping that Halo 1 would get remade. Give up. It never happens. All you do is hold on to hope. And hope, as we all know, is the last evil. So remember that.
So I think that's pretty much all the topics you got, Kenny, right?
Yeah, that was everything. We covered it all.
Charlie,
is everybody getting ready to go game?
Chat?
Is that what I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go game.
I'm getting ready to turn the box on myself.
Hey, I'm going to play some Gears. I'm going to play some Super Monday Night Combat.
All right, Loco, wrap us up, boy.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. Sorry I've been absolutely smashed, but I'm just knackered. But great having me on again, guys. Gal.se will be releasing pieces of information daily. Galforum.net, the European hub for competitive gears. You guys, thanks for having me on. Peace out.
Arctic.
Shout out to Team Razor, all the guys at Amazing, the new squad. We're rolling with. Shout out to you guys for putting on this show every week. All the fans of Amazing and, of course, our friends over at Epic. Gotta love them. That's all I got, man. Love you guys.
Scotty Lucier.
Well, thanks, Active Reload. European, anyone who's watching, I love you guys. Loco, thank you for joining us. Cream, thank you for reminding me every Monday with multiple tweets every single Monday. I appreciate it. I really do. I don't have any food plugs this week. I really don't. I'm sorry. That's going to do it for
Yeah,
milk
perfect.
does the body good. Like one of those old ass commercials. You got to do that one episode. Milk.
Oh, I'll find it. I'll find a mason jar. Find a mason jar just for you.
Major shout out to Kona's Corner. As your Alpha Ambassador, I look forward to seeing you in the Gears of War 3 Alpha playlist. Yo, gotta get them numbers up, guys. I'm tired of jumping in there and seeing like 59 people playing ranked, you know, coming into them late nights. Other than that, you know, major ups to the Active Reload. And once again, you know, another good week, another good show. Any questions, make sure to tweet me at DeFaceX, and see you guys next week.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in again, guys. This is now episode number 10. I know if you guys have been tweeting at me asking me why Mondays, I kind of consider moving the day. I'm not sure, though. It'd really take real popular demand on your guys' end So if you would like the show moved to a different day, please let me know, because it is on my mind, but I'm not sure I want to do it because we're so deep in now, and people are just, you know, kind of used to it. On another note, Cream of the Crop, I swear to God, I'm working on it. And I don't know who I got to talk to, Loco, if you know people or whoever wants to make me a freaking logo.
Dude, it's easy. Go to Photoshop, get a picture of cream corn, and then put your face
Oh, no, wait. You guys actually want to
there.
see the logo somebody made me, which is phenomenal. Here we go.
I want to see it.
I'm going to put it on stream right now.
Can you post it in Skype? I don't have the stream open.
Oh, we're just lazy.
What's he doing?
Hold on. I'm just going to put it over this. I don't care.
God damn it. Make me go to the stream. Shut it down.
Yeah, these guys.
This is the logo that Vaughn Whiskey made me because he is the man. And it was just... it was just perfect. But I'm not...
Drop it, dead soup.
I'm not going to actually...
That's the best. That's the best. Get it. Do it.
Like, I'm not sure I'm going to actually roll with that, but like it was just so perfect.
That guy's pumped.
Well, then you can do all your little things you like to do, like the Jeopardy music, and people will just know, you know, it's for fun. If you do a professional logo, they're going to expect you to curse and all that other bullshit.
That's true. Okay, guys, so thanks for tuning in. Next week, next Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Tune in. See you guys next week, guys.
Peace. Later, guys. It's been fun.